Sorensen driving the famed number 43 that Richard Petty took to victory lane here 7 times.
And all of those cars are cars that had made green flag stops prior to that caution. Boy, Brian Vickers, Dale Earnhardt Jr., that ain't going to work, boys.
Vickers hard. Here we go. Busch, the dominant car of the day, in the wall.
That was wrong.
And 10 cars sliding, slamming into the infield.
Jimmy Johnson, totally uncalled for. Totally.
I don't care who you are. That was just wrong.
Caution is out. McMurray was a contender. He's all torn up. And the dominant car of the day, that of Kyle Busch, is a victim of this pileup. Let's look first from the DirecTV blimp.
This is the result of a driver that's a little frustrated.
All right, there's Brian Vickers. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88 right up there at the front on the inside. Coming off 2 down the back straightaway. Junior gets a good run.
Vickers puts a little block on him. And then you be the judge.
Let's reiterate the rule. You are not allowed to advance your position below the yellow line. If you are forced below the yellow line, you must come back up and blend in.
Vickers puts the block on him, and then Junior just turns right back into the racetrack, right in the left rear of Brian Vickers.
Saw a similar situation like that yesterday in the nationwide race.
Harvick slides up in front of traffic.
Cars upside down, cars everywhere.
And turn 4 is calamity corner once again. The field is frozen. Jeff Gordon came across with Stewart and Johnson side by side, but there are half a dozen cars littered between turn 3 and the start finish line.
All right.
Last year's 3rd place finisher Scott Wimmer, the 29 of Kevin Harvick, the 42 of Jamie McMurray.
One of these cars was just standing up on its nose, swimming, spinning around like a water spout.
Greg Biffle. Jeff Burton had lost an engine prior to this. He coasts onto pit road between turns 3 and 4.
Because something happened to Greg Biffle, the 16 car that triggered all this.
I believe, watch it, see if it's Harvick's car. Oh no, it's the 22 car.
Scott Wimmer.
Look at him just spinning around. He got up on his nose and come back down on his wheels. Boy, that old 4 turn, she's mean, boys.
Watch the 22 of Scott Wimmer, the yellow car, take a wild ride here.
What started at Greg Biffle came down in the 10, or the 10 went up into Greg Biffle. They got together anyhow.
The luckiest man there was Rusty Wallace. Got a little tap but kept on going.
Now watch Wimmer. Over once, twice, 3 on his nose, 4, wham.
Huge.
Welcome back to Daytona.
It's the big one, gang. It's the big one. It's what we've all been fearing. This kind of racing is going to happen.
A horrible crash on the back straightaway that began when Tony Stewart got turned sideways against the backstretch wall number 20. Jason Leffler all torn up. The defending Cup champion Labonte. Stewart, there's fire underneath the hood of Bobby Labonte's car. He's out. He's okay. This is the view. You see Tony Stewart moving inside his car. Steve Park's car demolished. And Stewart's car flew and then had a car land on it.
In front of his car, the roll cage is down on him. I tell you, and that doesn't look good. They're running in with the safety crew. There's Robbie Gordon, and I'm not so sure that car there didn't have something to do with the start of it. It looked like a yellow car got against the outside wall to me.
Ward Burton, perhaps the fastest car here, torn up. Robbie Gordon, damage to Jeff Burton, Kenny Wallace as well. They have made it back to pit road.
Dale Jarrett, here he comes down pit road, tore all the pieces.
I think we could tell it, say it easier. I only see about 7 or 8 cars out there that does not have damage.
Steve turn 2.
It's half happened up here. I think that this car right here, man, and look at, is that Stewart's car?
That's Stewart's car. Rode right across the top of Robbie Gordon's car, the 4 car.
And I think everybody back up and look at it again. I think that the 4 and the 20 may have been that started that.
Stewart was the first car sideways. Here's why.
Here's the 4 got into the back of Ward Burton, I believe.
And then Burton's 22 got into Stewart. And everybody scrambles.
That car is taking a whale of a ride, that 20 car is. It's getting hit. It's upside down. It's hit on its roof. It's on fire.
And here's another angle.
Coming off a turn 2 where we've said that it's the wind. Somebody got into the back of that car right there.
That's Ward Burton right there.
You saw a puff of tire smoke, and then everything let loose.
I think that's what started. Somebody got it back of Ward Burton off turn 2.
I'm pretty sure the 4 car got into the back of Ward Burton, turned him into the 20 car, and God help all of them because there's no place to go. And you can't see.
Put a block on Matt DiBenedetto to keep that Toyota behind him. Here comes Kyle Busch with a push from Boyer on the inside.
DiBenedetto! And everybody!
Good.
Oh,
no. Are you kidding me? This is big. Wow. But it...
Boy, it just reminds me of the Clash. Same type of carnage that we saw where these cars were going everywhere. A lot of damage as they all got to turn 3.
Well, that ruined everything.
I mean, sometimes I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
Pretty nice push down the back straightaway to DiBenedetto. Gets to his right rear. Oh, yeah, that just starts to turn him a little bit.
Got him in the right rear.
And then he collects Menard.
Yeah.
Logano just misses it, but the whole outside lane and half the inside pile up.
And this is exactly what we were just talking about. At this stage in the race, you can start to taste victory in the Daytona 500. You want to see that checkered flag, and you'll do anything to get it, and you know you've got to be more aggressive with those bump drafts.
It looks exactly like the Clash. I mean, all those cars, third turn, all those cars wadded up, sliding up the track with sparks flying. It looked so much like the Clash.
That is the 17th of February, looking way too much like the 4th of July.
Amen.
Fireworks everywhere.
Yeah, and it really and truly, it was Paul Menard. He gave DiBenedetto a little shove, but it was on the outside, on the right side, and that just turned DiBenedetto into the outside wall, and then it was on from there.
And a different situation than we saw in the clash between Menard and with Jimmy Johnson, but it was a similar thing when we heard the spotter on the 21, Menard say, well, he zigged and we zagged.
And in this case, Menard told his team on the radio, I just bumped him a little too hard.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? It's the end of the race. You're trying to help that guy. You're trying to help DiBenedetto. You're not trying to wreck him, but just bad judgment. Look at that 10 car.
Almirola's number 10.
Look at David Reagan underneath the 10 of Almirola.
David Reagan, see what springs he's running. Look at that.
All those sparks flying.
My gosh.
Man, amazing shots.
And all Almirola wanted was a chance to win it on the last lap.
Yeah, well, he didn't
like last year.
Didn't quite get there. Close.
Dale Jarrett, one of them. Mark Martin is in it. Elliott Sadler, the rookie, and cars spin. Terry Maloney. Steve Park is in there, 99. Jeff Burton, yeah. Joe Nemechek, 42. Sterling Marlin, number 40. Jeffrey Bodine, former winner. Boy, Ward Burton, heavy damage on his Pontiac. Those cars were all running so close together. And Dale Jarrett trying to win his third Daytona 500. Will not.
Well, there's Dale Jarrett right there as they head off in the corner. He goes down on the flat part of the racetrack.
He might have had a little bit of a bump from the 28 car, his teammate, as they went in there. At 190 miles an hour, it's almost impossible for the brakes to slow the car to miss the incident. You steer for the hole and hope it's still there when you get there. Boy, that track closed up in a hurry. When one car spun as close as they were running together, they had to get a lot of other cars involved.
And Ricky Rudd. Right there at the start of that replay, was there contact between Jarrett and the 28?
Yeah, it looked like there was just light contact, just enough to turn him down on flat and shoot him right back up in front of oncoming traffic.
Another angle. The cars you're watching, oh, Jarrett's already gone at that point.
And just shoots back up across the racetrack right into Terry Labonte. And then other cars, there's Mark Martin in 6th car. There comes Ward Burton in number 22.
Jeffrey Bodine, he was the next to him there.
Robert Presley.
Someone's upside down there.
That was Bodine, I believe, that went on his route. Let's show you Dale Jarrett's view. Showed you which car was upside down.
Trying to build that run that Keselowski did.
Here goes the 3 car.
Will Dillon have help? No, they come down to block. Logano goes back up. Keselowski with him. McDowell in tow. Dillon on the bottom.
The run's on top.
Whoa!
Teammates.
Around they go in a hard crash. Kyle Busch.
Kyle Larson.
Caution is out.
Bubba Wallace is in this. Austin Cindric, hard hit by Kyle Busch.
Caution's out.
McDowell is first to the line, but will have to go back to the moment of caution, which ends the race. Brad Keselowski is climbing out. He's reviewing video footage because when they hit the caution light, that time stamps all video to determine the order of finish at the moment of caution.
Huge run. Went for it. Joey was obviously had to block.
Question is, where did that caution come out? Chase Elliott pulls ahead of Michael McDowell.
Oh, look at the run he got right there, though.
McDowell, the run on the outside with a little help from Hamlin.
All right, we know the caution was out there. We saw some caution lights where Michael McDowell and the 3 of Austin Dillon pulled ahead of Chase Elliott.
And Michael McDowell from Glendale, Arizona, for Bob Jenkins Front Row Motorsports, has won the Daytona 500.
How about that?
Man.
That's a huge win for Michael McDowell and that team. Doesn't get any bigger than this.
And a huge crash for everybody else.
Roaring down the backstretch, 68 cars play follow the leader at 150 miles an hour. Turn, end of lap 1. The leader's at record speed, but the rest of the field is in trouble back in the 4th turn. The most fantastic pileup in auto racing history takes 37 cars out of the race. Some drivers free themselves from the wrecked cars to find out, is anyone hurt?